him more. I'd also like to talk to Sam Hill. I wish that I could jump on the
I
phone with
was meant
Sam.
to ask. I
He's
was
so
meant to
quiet.
ask you because you've commented that like there was a, I don't know if it was a bio, and you said like, which mountain biker do you respect? And you said Sam Hill, and I wanted to know why.
Dude,
What about him?
he's a savage.
Yeah, well,
I think
I'm
he's a
asking you.
savage.
That's what he is, a savage, dude. I spent a
He
lot.
just shows up
Yeah,
and smokes dudes. Like, doesn't say much. He's quiet but confident. And I don't know. I know that I'm not quiet like that. Like I'm kind of in. I'm very external. I talk a lot. I'm pretty loud, but at the same time, like I can be introverted. I'm an introverted extrovert. Like I talk a lot, but I also at the same time like stay pretty close to myself when it comes to like what my beliefs are, my thoughts, and some of that stuff. Like I'm quick to make small talk, and I quickly will try to be friends with somebody, but at the same time, like if I don't get that back, I kind of internalize a bit. But I think Sam is like, I don't know, he hasn't done a lot of podcasts. Like he did the Gypsy Tales one and didn't really say much, and I always try to say hello to him when he's at the races and be nice to the dude. But he definitely doesn't want to talk. So I just think he raced a ton. He won a lot of stuff, and I think mentally, like I wish that I knew more about his mental approach or his thoughts towards racing, just because I think the way he went about it was rad.
yeah.
For sure.
He owes me a podcast. So any listeners, just go and slide into his DMs. He said he'd come on. Because, dude, I grew up technically getting mentored by him, Rennie, Graves, Bryn. Like, I got to know the Aussies. I mean, this was before your time. The shit we got up to, but the sheer talent and mental strength, I witnessed it firsthand. It was crazy. The self belief he had in himself, and the lines
Yeah.
he would ride, and all that. Yeah, it really is. How can you not respect him? What he did in the sport. I mean, there's a few riders that have changed the sport, and him
Yeah.
being one of them for sure.
Like I think like all of his accomplishments are cool, and he's so much known for his accomplishments. But just like his mental side, and like he was willing to do things that no one else was willing to do. And I think the lines he rode and the how sick he was on the bike, a lot of that came from the mental side. And he just does not share any of that, which I think is really, really interesting. And I'd like to know more about it, like the whole like his mental approach to racing. But he definitely does not do anything to share it. But I see him at the race. I'm like, hey man, how's the kids doing? How's the moto? Try to ask him about things that are like, away from that aren't, because I'm sure the dude just gets pestered about downhill all the time, but it's like kids super into racing moto and, hey man, how's it going? You'll sometimes say something, but not too often.
Dude, he's
try to
the
not bug
same
him
with
about
he's
bikes.
just. I know what you mean. I know, like, chat to someone about what they're really interested in, and for you, like,
Yeah.
away from bikes is moto. And dude, like I said, we hung out, traveled across America together, and I'll get the same sometimes. I'm like, yo, Sam, yeah, man. I'm like, are you honestly not going to talk to me? We go back 20 years, dude. And
Yeah.
because he's just, it's not personal. Like, it's not an insult. It's not because he's too cool. It's nothing. He's just
No,
so sort of
him.
quietly guarded. But when he says something, it's either very important or like you can get something out of it, or super funny. Like his humor and wit is actually
Yeah.
ridiculous as well. Like the shit he would say about some of the runs. So, yeah, we got to get him on. We got to get him on.